Hi everyone, welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel, um, which I call the Book of Zion. And the Book of Zion is published on YouTube at Pot Smoker's Bible. I suggest that if you want to know what is underlying the events that are currently happening in America, you might want to go check out my videos because it foretells the fall of America and the rise of Zion, my future nation. I can't wait to live there. But first, first things first. Today's episode, or this episode, I should say, is about America and why it's about ready to fall. It's being judged by God, who is great. And the prophetic judgment has already been foretold. It was foretold 3,000 years ago in the prophecy of Israel. And the events of our current situation is the result of that judgment. America is judged a hypocritical nation. They say one thing, and they actually do the other, just like Trump. And Trump was put into the White House as as America's final judgment, because the events of his presidency has unraveled the fabric of American democracy. He has placed himself in a position to take over the America that we have today in the name of the corporate state, which will completely do away with the Constitution of the United States in place of which will be the only criteria America has ever really had to begin with, and that's money. Corporate America has been corporate America in actuality since 1939, when Dow Chemical bribed Texas and Louisiana into enacting a law which prohibited the sale of hemp and allowed their plastic chemical crap to become profitable. Without the illegalization of hemp, Dow Chemical would not be Dow Chemical. And the United States of America as we know it today would not be the United States of America as we know it today. Because there would have never been a war on drugs. And without a war on drugs, there's a very good chance that America would not have needed to fall. Corporate America had took over when Dow bought the war on drugs. Ever after that moment, every corporation in America knew that they could bribe the Senate, the House of Representatives, and the President to enact laws to allow them to profit at the expense of the American people. And that's exactly what has happened. And now they've been judged, found guilty, and that verdict has been carried out. The moment Trump stepped into the White House, America was doomed. He's a white supremacist. He's an anarchist. He's an idiot. He's an ego. He's a corporate head. And the moment he stepped into the White House, white supremacy was on the rise. Hate crimes, crimes of all sorts, were on the rise. And America has gone downhill ever since. COVID-19, under any other president, would have been dealt with immediately, correctly, and we would not be in this situation that we're in today. Now, nothing, not even Trump, could have prevented the eventual rise of my people in protest against the police state. We, by our very nature of being American born and bred, believe in our freedom, and we will fight for it. Even if that means that we have to abandon America to the corporate state and take our chances alone. If given no other choice. Fortunately for us, we have another choice. We have a very powerful and ancient civilization standing by, ready, willing, and capable of giving us aid in our stand for freedom in America. They're called the Gray. But don't be fooled, they're actually blue skinned. They are the ancient gods of the earth who were forced to clone themselves to avoid extinction from a venereal disease caused by the interspecies relationships between grays and blues and humans. Now they're ready. They're right up there. They have probes all over the planet monitoring everything. And those probes are AIs. They're sentient probes that operate autonomously. I have a story about that, so I'll tell you sometime. Ask me about my cat, man. Anyway, that'll be for another time. But these AIs monitor all the conditions that happen on the earth to ensure the human survival. We are their children and they are protecting us. And those of us who use drugs are more their children than anybody else because drugs are the key to the prophecy. And the war against drugs, which was incited by the corporate takeover of America through Dow Chemical, was put in place by the Gray in order to create the people who will become known as Zion, that nation which is about to be born. My people are in the streets. They're in the streets because the corporate takeover of America made America so soulless and heartless and self-absorbed that the government of the United States would line their pockets with the profits from the corporations, while honest everyday American citizens live in boxes under bridges. That is the truth of America. America is not a just nation. Democracy is a joke. It's a celebrity pageant with the winner taking all for 4 years. It doesn't work. It never could work. Not because the people don't have the ability to self-govern, because we do. It's because the wealthy refuse to allow justice for all. This country is not a free country. As long as one single American sits in jail for doing nothing more than having a good time or protecting themselves from attack of any kind, nobody is free. Just because you have the ability to take a piece of plastic and put it in a machine and get whatever the fuck you want at the expense of 18% interest to the corporate head, you're slaves to the corporations. and the corporations dole out money. And if they decide you're not worthy of them, then you get nothing. And you starve. And you live in boxes under bridges. There is no health care. Only for the elite. I work 40 to 45 hours a week. I make less than $12 an hour. I can't afford to pay insurance. I can't afford to go to a doctor. But yet, without me and millions of people just like me, the corporates would starve because they couldn't even feed themselves, because they don't know how to do anything. So 1% of America does absolutely nothing and gets everything, while 99% either go without anything at all or get doled out portions just to satisfy their urge, to keep them in line. And don't forget all those badges with guns and batons that have the authority to kill you because you dare to run away, because you dare to sell a single cigarette for a quarter, that you dare to be asleep in your bed. America is guilty of all of this and much, much more. Just look at the facts of our actual history. Native Americans in reservations starved. The lands that they're given are the least productive lands in this country. And if that land happens to have hidden wealth in it, like, gold, then they'll take it away from them. Because you can't give them anything. Because they're not, what? Wealthy. Black Lives Matter, yes. But it's not the color of your skin that's the real denominating factor here. It's the number of dollar bills in your bank account. The more dollar bills you have in a bank account, the more you're liked by the corporations, the easier your life is. But as COVID-19 has demonstrated, that's a house of cards that falls at the drop of a hat. It cannot stand because it's made on nothing. America cannot stand because it's made on nothing. The 99% that do everything and get nothing are in the streets right now, protesting the corporate bullying tactics of the police force. And don't think that that's not a corporation itself, because in actuality, it kind of is. All of those police associations, that's just the governing body of their political unit. America is a lie. A story told by idiots to dumbasses who believe it because they believe anything. They don't require facts. Because if you look at the facts, the statistics, you'll see. America is guilty. So, what good is there in America? Because I see none. And I was taught that by the Grey. May the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy, pursue your joy, and be your joy. Stay happy and high. If you do, you have every right to. I love you. See you later, because I'll never say goodbye.